the Duke of Djuma. We were about to set up the drone. Well, the drone is ready to go. And look who materialized. He's going to walk right between us and Peter from Ankoro. Not a problem. He picks up his pace just a little bit to get between us. But is that not a relaxed male leopard? He was just scent marking down by the dam, and there's some impalas alarm calling off to the right. You'd almost think there's a leopard nearby. We're going to follow him, but he is heading directly west, which is maybe not a good sign. There, you can hear the impala males rutting off in the distance. He's going to might get a vehicle in the shot in a moment. Let's turn around here, shall we? How marvelous is that? The Duke of Djuma materializes. There he goes. Yay! Wow, everyone. Here he is. We'll just see if we can follow him. Let me turn down my game drive radar there, because it's very hard to focus. Obviously, when a leopard gets found, everyone gets very excited, and they all want to come at the same time. But we were the closest, and we're going to get him in a beautiful dapple afternoon light. I'm going to just stop there for a moment. Tammy, yes, I'm also glad he's scent marking, but I mean, he's right here by Chitwa, so maybe he's just making a much smaller sort of territory, not sort of pushing his way back into where he was, but who knows? He's up, he's about, he's definitely staking claim to this territory anyway, and there is lots of impala and water. You can just see him through the bushes there. He's looking into the open. The impala rams are doing their territorial rutting. You can just hear a little go-away bird there. Marvelous. Let's try get in behind these two vehicles. Oh, Saskia, most certainly. Leopards can detect all sorts of wonderful smells, and they actually hunt quite often through smell. So what they'll do is sniff and follow impala and duiker and all sorts of other little creatures in their wanderings as they're looking for them. We've seen it quite often with a few of the leopards as they move through the thick bush with seemingly no visual of anything. And just a scent on the ground. And because they scent mark as well, olfactory communication is very, very important for them. Most animals out here actually are very good communicators with the nose. Oh! And I'm just going to stop there for a moment while we just smash that bush. Isn't that beautiful? There's one of the lodge vehicles behind. They're enjoying a little bit of Tingana in the afternoon as he stops to give us a nice pose, because behind us in the distance, the impala males are making their noises. There we go. He's going to rub his face. He's probably going to scent mark backwards there. Let's see. There we go. He's now scratching his feet. Lynn, scent marking, if it rains, it gets washed away almost immediately. So that's why after rain, you'll find predators or you'll find territorial holders. Look at him. His body language has changed. Can you see that? He spotted something. So as soon as there's rain, the scent marker gets washed away. And then the territory holder will move again and re-scent mark, because the purpose for scent marking is to demarcate a territory. And if an animal comes across your territory and there's no fresh scent mark, then it's actually available and up for grabs. So it's very important for them to re-scent mark. Seb, I'm going to go around onto the road. So that's why you'll often find after a rainy event, your predators or your rhino, territorial holders, rhino, wildebeest, as well as leopard and lion, will go back around and remark all of those areas. Whole lot of impala off the side here. He's moving through the long grass over there. We're getting to our western boundary with Chitwa and little Gowrie. Just going to stop right there for you. If he keeps going on this trajectory, that's about as far as we're going to be able to go with him. But have you got him, Seb? He's just left of you there. Bottom left of the screen. There he is. How camouflaged is that? Now, his intention is the impala herd in the glistening light behind us. And you can see how the shoulders changed shape as he got very low in the grass. Can you see that? Very, very low. He's not done yet, this beautiful Duke Tingana. 11.5-odd-year-old male. It's about as sort of old as they get. Still hold their territories. Thanks, Peter. Oh, he's not going yet. Hello. We've got a male leopard just here in front of the car. Sorry about the spare tire there. If we didn't have the spare tire, that would be a marvelous shot. Go away bird in the background. Why? Why? I don't know if you didn't see him there, but he just licked his lips. Duke, I'd also love to know what his best kill is. Look at his body language. He's definitely interested in those impala there. Look how he's sleeking away there. Very low. He's using the vehicles as cover, cheeky boy. And we're going to stay with him. It'll be a marvelous afternoon to get a leopard hunt. Sorry about Indeed, and talking about old fellows, I would love to know what James was talking about there, about old fellows and comparing some of us to the hippos at Buffelshoek Dam. I wonder. But here we do. Boring to watch. Okay, is James saying that we're boring to watch? Kids definitely are more fun to watch. So he's just walking in front of us here. He's walking directly towards to the main road, Gowrie Main, so potentially going back to Djuma, or maybe in he's definitely interested in some impala. Definitely interested in impala here. And Nandini leopard ideally will try to kill its prey in the shortest amount of time as possible. A skillful cat will suffocate its prey around the throat or around the nose immediately. But sometimes it doesn't manage to get it right there, like on a warthog, and it leads to the animal screaming. And what a distress call does is it attracts other predators. So it's in the best interest for a leopard to kill very quickly and very silently. Doesn't always work, but it's ideal for them to do so. So from seconds to 30 seconds, as quick as possible. But I've seen leopards try to kill a warthog that took a very, very long time. Very long time, because it was afraid to go near the face and the throat. The radio is alive with everybody wanting to see this beautiful cat, of course. So we are going to make some space so as to preserve some friendships in and around here, and I hope you're all okay with that. A lot of people would like to see a leopard this afternoon, and I think we've had a very nice look. We're going to move off back down to the dam and give these guys some space. Actually, not a leave, I keep getting that wrong. He's up in the Mara. But Tristan reckons that Thandi with Klalamba is going to be her last litter. As the leopard females get older, they start having less youngsters. And we reckon Klalamba is probably going to be her last offspring that she introduces to the Sabi Sands. And that's kind of like the way it works. 12 is an old, 12, 13, 14 is an old leopard. And it's just difficult for them to secure food for not just themselves, but for their cubs as they get a bit older. So those are the kind of the statistics I'm working with. Saskia, there are many, many lodges in the Sabi Sands. There's Nkoro, there's Arathusa, there's Chitwa, where we are, Elephant Plains, Sylvans, and that's just up in the north. And they've all got a number of vehicles and a number of guests that come into camp. And so they're all out in these areas looking for these animals. It's why we have the radio to communicate and to keep in touch. And so, for example, we were sitting there about to do the drone, and Peter, who comes from Nkoro, he managed to give us a very nice update that, oh, just by the way, there's a leopard here. We're like, okay, just by the way, we would like to come in and see Duke. And that adds to our lovely Wednesday cat special. From the road itself. Kirst, I would suggest getting Ralph to check Treehouse Dam area if he wants to find Hosana. That's where I had his tracks headed this morning. So I'll definitely make a little turn around there if he's got the time. And here is Hosana's dad, Tingana, the Duke of Djuma. Although he is on Chitwa at the moment, he's only meters inside of Chitwa. On our left-hand side is Torchwood. And I mean, if Seb just pans out a little bit, here he comes. He is so invisible. I was parked here for 30 seconds before I could see him. What have you seen, my boy? There goes some waterbuck across the road in front of us there. Don't think that's what he was looking at. Their sense of sight and pretty much everything is so far more in tune than ours. And here he is, in the road. Isn't that a beautiful cat? Yes, Monica, just gorgeous. And this is why we track on the roads, because they like to use roads. It's very quiet on their feet. They don't make any noise. And then as soon as they detect any prey upwind or left or right of them, then they'll move in that direction. So we're going to start up and see if we can stay with him. He's definitely got his eyes on something. He's not sure what. We don't want to disturb him though. The aging Duke needs every meal he can get. So we'll just follow him. As soon as we spot whatever it is he's kind of having a look at. He might only be hearing something, because I couldn't see anything in the distance apart from that waterbuck that crossed the road. And that herd of impala were slowly moving down here as well. And a lot of animals will start making their way sort of to Chitwater Hole and to the open area there as night falls. This is probably one of his ploys, to spend time in and around the area of abundance. Bree, it is very calming to watch his paws on the sand. I'm going to just stay right there, because he's going to go, if he keeps going forward like that, we're going to lose him in Torchwood. But that is okay, because we've had a marvelous time with the Duke. And it is such a beautiful cat. It's a beautiful, beautiful cat. that posture. He's still looking in great condition. You know, as soon as a leopard starts losing condition, you really see it sort of in the hips, in that sort of area. Yeah, that's it, Tingana. Stay on the road for us. Catch something on the other side of the road. Andrew, if we go onto another property, it's essentially trespassing. So you don't want to do that. We should know better. So if I went over there, I would deliberately be trespassing rather than accidentally trespassing. So that is the problem. It's just going onto someone else's land without permission. You just shouldn't do it. Okay, so what is it moving over there? It is some waterbuck that he's looking at in the thickets. I'm just going to talk to vehicle. Station approaching Tingana. Just pull up here next to me. He is busy stalking what looks like some waterbuck off to our left. Okay, so he's very low in the grass. Let's watch this. Let's see how he's going to do with waterbuck. We're not going to make any noise. There's the waterbuck there. As I say that, other vehicle starts. Just going to let Jos know. Yeah, Jos, he's got eyes on some waterbuck just up ahead there. So he might try and take a waterbuck. I've seen leopards kill waterbuck a few times in my life, male leopards. I've even seen a male leopard tree a female waterbuck, which is an enormous amount of weight to go up a tree. He would obviously be trying to select for the smallest individual in the herd, and there's a small herd over there. He's just disappeared flat in the grass there on the Torchwood fire break now. He's just crossed the road. Gowrie Main. Chitwa is on the right hand side and Torchwood is on the left, and it's amazing how he has just vanished in the long grass. The grass isn't even that long. By running through the long grass he would make noise. So by running along open clearings or along pathways, he makes the waterbuck are cutting across. This is going to be fantastic if we get to see this. There are the waterbuck, and there is Tingana, and there is a semi-sub-adult there. Ryan from Texas, he needs to be within minimum of 20 yards to be able to catch whatever it is he needs to get, unless the animal runs at him. If he starts his stalk, or should I say his chase, too soon, the animal will run away. A lot of these antelope are designed for speed and designed to run away from an animal very quickly. But if he can get within sort of that 15, 20 yard sort of distance, he's got a good chance if he's able to remain undetected. Very explosive speed over that distance, and he'll launch himself. But you saw how he ran in the road to lose any detection or make himself very silent. And this is what we see along major game paths, along these roads. That's why the roads are such an important area for us to check when it comes to animal movements. And as you can see now there, his tracks are going to be clearly in the road for anyone that would want to find him. Just going to roll a little bit forward, make no noise at all. Those waterbuck are no doubt going to cross the road right in front of him. There they are. Look how he's now flat. How he's now flat. They're looking directly at him. Waterbuck had no idea. If you'd like to, Kirst, most certainly. I think he's a bit far away from the waterbuck. They have no idea that he's there. There's the youngster I was talking about. He would like to take that one down. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Safari Live. We are with a big male leopard by the name of Tingana, the Duke of Djuma. We are in Djuma, in the Sabi Sands. On my right-hand side is Chitwa. And this male leopard is busy stalking some waterbuck. My name is Steve Falconwich. I'm joined on camera by Seb. And this is fantastic stuff in the afternoon. It's getting quite late. It's getting nice and dark. He was running along the road to try to sneak up alongside his waterbuck, but I think he's missed his chance. We are joined by other vehicles in the sighting, landowners from the north, and I think he's given up. That's how it is. The action can unfold very, very quickly, and it can end just as quickly. He didn't quite get close enough along that sort of line that the waterbuck were using. They are they're most definitely moving towards the dam, Chitwa waterhole, which is down towards our right, and he didn't cut them off quickly enough. If he'd gotten a little bit further forward, he would quite easily been able to try and catch one of them. But a waterbuck is no easy meal for a leopard. But he is a big 11.5, 12-year-old male leopard. He has been the dominant leopard in this area for the last 4 or 5 years, and he is the father of many of the youngsters around. Paula, he was watching something. The waterbuck crossed the road just in front of him, and now he was crouched down flat on the ground, and now he's gone from a very flat crouched leopard to a semi-flat leopard. So I think he's realized that he's missed, and he's conserving his energy now. But his ears are still moving. You can see how they're moving from left to right. This is the perfect time of day for leopards to stalk. They are very opportunistic. And if something moves and is edible, they'll definitely have a go. It's all about energy expenditure. And that's why the movements he's done to get into this position, he's now resting to recoup the energy lost. But I think the chase is over. If you haven't already done, please comment and send your questions to below on the stream. The action started out and ended very quickly, as is what happens on a live broadcast. But I think that might be it for the afternoon. Guard monkey, he's always listening. Those ears are always moving and moving and moving, picking up whatever sounds that they can. They're very susceptible to any movement, snort or hoof or shuffle in the grass. So even though he looks like he might be at complete rest, something could trigger him and he would immediately react to it. If any of you have got domestic cats back home, you've probably seen that. Your cat is sitting fast asleep. Their ears are twitching, and as soon as something catches their attention, immediately they attack it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this very short broadcast. It is live, and if you'd like to keep watching, we are still on Safari Live, so just Google us and continue the show. Thank you for joining us, and have a good night. Well, you're still with us, folks, but I believe Ralph has managed to find himself his favorite animal.
Yes, everyone, I have found my favorite animal. We're not quite sure which exact individual this is, but whichever one it is, it looks like a female, nice and big. And she has just saved the day for me, because I was getting quite frustrated, not finding much, driving around. We've pretty much crossed the entire concession. And she's on the move. She's obviously just gotten up. See, head in the air, trying to sniff out. Right, I'm going to try and catch up with her. She looks like she might have picked up a scent of something. They have such wonderful smells, do hyena, or sense of smell.
Djuma Dam cat. Pangolin says she can't wait to be disappointed. Well, I hate to say this, but I can't wait to disappoint you. Am I allowed to say that? Yeah. And who cares is also looking for potato bush? Sorry about that. Apparently there are some battery problems in the microphone pack, which are...
And if he goes right, let's go. He's going to scent mark. We are in infrared. There we go. Does he scratch his feet? No, no scratching of the feet there. He's definitely on a border patrol now after being unsuccessful in his hunting. Unsuccessful in his hunting. We are going to follow him, and hopefully he's going to go right into Chitwa and not into Torchwood. That would be marvelous. Left, right. Can you see him deliberating? Barbara, you want to know an interesting question. If cats are scent marking, then they definitely are advertising status. And I think through the smell, other cats are able to pick up exactly who they are, what their reproductive status is, who they are, everything. There are so many things or questions about it that have been possible for us to ascertain. They reckon that the anal pastings that hyena do have probably got about 80 characteristics to them that the hyena are able to sort of ascertain when it comes to when they smell it. They know the clan size, strength, health, reproductive status, so many things. We can only assume. Impossible for us to guess, though. Seb, I'm going to try get up on the side of him there, if that's okay with you. He's quite relaxed to the car, folks, so I'm just going to sneak up on the side of him. Okay, well, it looks like Ralph has got his sights set in the distance, so let's go back over to him. Very close to Tingana now, right up beside him. Some marvelous shots of his face. His ears are twitching in every direction. His eyes, his body's very alert. But he still has a bit of a catnap in him. He's listening to the sounds around him that pique his interests. What's going on in that mind? Don't touch that dial. That is indeed someone's name. You want to know about eye contact. Well, cats, especially leopards, direct eye contact with the leopard is considered a challenge because they are solitary. So I think with any solitary cat, eye contact is considered a challenge and a threat. With lions, it's very important to maintain eye contact because that is basically showing confidence. But when leopards, for example, the way Tingana is sitting now, if another male leopard happened to rock up on the scene, he would not look at him. He would maintain the sideways posture. His jowls would be very large and hanging, and he'd probably be growling at the same time. And that would be indicating to the other male that I've seen you, and I'm bigger than you, but they don't look at each other. As soon as they look at each other, it's a direct challenge, and that could often lead to something more. So if you do encounter a leopard on foot and you need to back away from it, you look at it sideways without looking at him directly in the eye. That is the best way to do it. But every now and again, a leopard, when we're on the vehicle, will look straight through us, straight through the soul, and it is quite something to experience. They really do see straight through you. There he dozes again. He's still lying on the road. We've been with him this entire time. He hasn't deviated too much. Initially saw him moving off to spy that herd of waterbuck, and then as they crossed, I think he anticipated them crossing at a different point, because where we had stopped behind him previously was a very nice game trail with lots of waterbuck tracks crossing, so I think he initially anticipated them crossing at that angle, but they deviated very slightly and he lost his opportunity. Beautiful spots, the rosettes of the leopard. It is almost completely dark. We are with the infrared, so we're able to see all of these images beautifully, without influencing anybody. There's a vehicle behind us. I'm surprised they haven't put a spotlight on yet. Okay, well, while we stay with this night critter, Tingana himself, let's go over to Ralph, who's searching for his own nocturnal animals. Yes, we are still with the big predator with spots. The Duke of Djuma, who decided from his slumber, still immobile in the road. He's going to scent marking. Main roads like this are often very important boundaries. The easily navigatable road or pathway. I wonder if they see it as a road or if they see it just as a major game path. But often cats will use river courses, power lines, fence lines, any form of sort of easily accessible pathway. Elephant. Sorry about the signal there, folks. We've got someone joining us. Afternoon. After you guys. Enjoy. There we go. That's Ryan from Arathusa. That is torchwood, young sir. Oh, he's smelling something. Someone has visited that bush. Tasman, age 7, there, he's doing the phlegm grimace. Look at that. He's picked up a urine signature on the branch, and now by lifting his mouth like that, the urine signature goes into the top of the mouth, and it indicates all sorts of pheromone sort of things in the brain. Female status, male status, all sorts of things. Now, Tasman, age 7, leopards will eat as often as they can, but they can go for a week and a half without eating, but they don't normally do that. They sometimes will eat every day. It all depends on the time of year and the conditions available. But leopards will eat very regularly, but they can go for some time without food because they have such a large protein diet when they do eat. Now, he's very interested in that bush. Probably a female leopard who's come along and scent marked. And he's getting very excited about it. He's rubbing his head in there. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns around now and scent marks on top of her. You can see that his mouth is still open in that grimace. Almost looking off into the distance as if whatever female that is just going to materialize in front of him. But the brain is obviously working out all sorts of things. Yes, Francis from Israel. The females will phlegm and grimace as well. You'll actually see it in many, many animals. Most of the antelope that I've seen do it. Even elephant, but you don't see the grimace in the elephant because they've got an enormous nose. But buffalo do it, rhino, male and female, as well as lots of antelope. You see it with lions, you see it with leopards. I've never seen it with hyena though. I've never seen them do that. But lots of animals do that, and it's accessing the brain, different sort of the Jacobson organ in the roof of the mouth, and it's telling them all sorts of things from status, strength, reproductivity, all sorts of things we can't even fathom to imagine. We can only guess. He's really enjoying this little Facebook status post. Scent marking is just like status posts put on Facebook where people tell you all sorts of things about their lives. I just think scent marking is a little bit more complicated because who cares what someone ate for breakfast? Okay, well, let's see if we can keep up with him, if I haven't beached myself. Can't help that Patience pants are working off this afternoon. This does indeed appear to be Hosana. Let's see. James Richard showed me something about the bottom of his tail. Can you see the bottom of his tail, Seb? Just where the tail meets. No, you can't see it there. There's like a nuclear sign there where his tail meets his bottom. You can't really see it, but I saw 3 spots on the right-hand side and 3 spots on the left. It looks like Hosana, indeed. Ryan initially thought it was a female leopard, and he's come in maybe 50 to 80 meters further west than where Tingana came out. So it's almost as if you can smell Daddy-O in the air, and he's trying to find him. How marvelous is that? He's looking into the darkness. Bear in mind, folks, we're on infrared. It is impossible to see. And he is looking straight into where we had Impala earlier, by that small pan as you come into Chitwa from Gowrie, Main. We're not far from that junction at all. And he's looking straight in that direction for, we're not quite sure what, but he's listening. He doesn't seem to have spotted anything. That is indeed Hosana. Does everybody agree with me? So he's probably been walking from where we left his tracks this morning, and he's probably been this entire time walking all this way, because he likes to jump between Chitwa and Djuma. If you didn't know it before, this is indeed my favorite leopard. Well, thank you, James Richard, for confirming it. I'm getting much better at my identification. I know last night I found it quite difficult because he was crouched down looking at us. I couldn't get a look at the spot pattern, and the eyes were wild as leopard's eyes can be, and on foot. It doesn't really matter who the leopard is when you're on foot. That's a leopard on foot. And last night was one of the highlights of my year, I think. Definitely highlight of the year. When we found Hosana last night. What was last night? Barbara, you are 100% correct. Hosana is not your average leopard. I think that's why we love him so much. Definitely one of the crowd favorites out there. He definitely gets enough airtime. And Penny, I think by the time Hosana becomes able to challenge for territory, I think Tingana will be well into retirement. I mean, I don't think Hosana's got it in him for at least another year, if less than that maybe. But, I mean, he wouldn't be able to take on the Duke right now. It's still a noticeable size difference. There's a skill difference. I mean, I wonder if Hosana's even been in a proper fight before. So that is what happens when you want to challenge for territory, is you need to have fought a number of times and probably lost a number of times to be able to sort of achieve a victory. Someone's calling me. Standing by. I'm stationary on Chitwa access with Gariman. Okay, someone was calling me, but it wasn't actually me. Well, it seems like Ralph has found one of Hosana's favorite meals, so let's quickly go over to him before it dashes away. Yes, we are. We have officially confirmed through James, Richard, and myself, the Hosana, the little chief, the little prince, and that look I'm getting so familiar with at the night time with those enormous pupils. His beautiful eyes, you can't really see the color of them in the darkness, but they're a beautiful brown color. Tumba's got beautiful blue eyes and enormous ears. And Hosana has made his way. He seems to be popping from dam to dam, from Vuyatela to Chitwa, as if it is a game of ping pong. And he has moved only a few meters further into Chitwa as we arrived. And he's just listening. There's hardly any air whatsoever. He's listening. His ears are perked. His eyes are alert. You can see there's a little bit of air movement behind him there, but it's not really much to be pushing any animal scent towards him. Paula, he does have such intense eyes, but when the light is on, those eyes aren't that intense, but it's because we're looking with infrared, so the pupils are enormous. He's taking in as much light as possible from this very dark evening, and that's why it looks very daunting when you see those enormous pupils. If anyone's seen their house cat come running in from the darkness with those wild-eyed pupils, there's always something quite special to behold. And here we are with the little prince in the almost pitch darkness. There's only a bit of over a half a moon in the sky. I'm looking over my shoulder to see him. And no, don't go that way, Hosana. We've only got 2 minutes left. Don't go and spoil the show by walking back to the road. Okay, well, what has he spotted? What is he smelling? Let's see if we can keep up with him. Maybe he's looking for his dad. Okay, let's go. He's now going to walk, probably as Tingana has been doing, walking in the road. There he goes. It's not a party without dad, it appears. So, folks, it's been a marvelous afternoon with not one, but 2 leopards. And from all of us on this side, spending time with leopards and hippos is what we do. And we're going to definitely try and keep the camera on him. Enough of looking at my average face. Let's watch the beautiful cat Hosana as he meanders into the distance, following east, the same trail his dad did. It's been a fantastic evening. FC, Luke and Kirsten that side, James on bushwalk with Rexon, Ralph having a marvelous afternoon finding hyena, and us with the leopards. It is always a special afternoon in Djuma and the Sabi Sands. Thank you for your comments, questions, and we will be live tomorrow morning bright and early. Have a beautiful evening, and we see you then.